In this video, I'll be reviewing Rakuten Trade, a low-cost broker that lets you trade Malaysian, US and Hong Kong stocks at a very low fee. I'll be going through everything you need to know, such as who they are, what are their fees, are they easy to use or not, and finally, what I like and what I don't like about them. Okay, just in case you're wondering, this video is not sponsored by them, so you can be rest assured that all these are my honest opinion. However, full disclosure, I do earn a bit of affiliate commission when you sign up using my link. Also, do join my Telegram group with over 4,000 members where you get to discuss stocks, personal finance, or ask any questions that you may have. Okay, here's a quick intro about Rakuten Trade. Rakuten Trade was launched way back during the good old days of 2017 and is the result of a 50-50 joint venture between Malaysian investment bank Tenaga and Japan's Rakuten Securities, which is also a part of the Rakuten Group. Rakuten Trade is licensed by Securities Commission Malaysia, and they proudly call themselves Malaysia's first and only completely digital equities broker. Nice. Okay, enough of the introduction. Let's talk about the part we care about the most, fees. As mentioned earlier, Rakuten Trade lets you trade in 3 different markets: Malaysia, Hong Kong, and US. If you are trading Malaysian stocks, you will obviously be using the Malaysian ringgit to trade. However, if you are trading Hong Kong or the US market, you are able to trade in either Malaysian ringgit or their local currency. And depending on the currency, the fees will be totally different. Here's a chart to help you visualize this. Here, we are trading the US market. The blue line is the fee that we will have to pay if we settle in the Malaysian ringgit. And the red line is the fee if we settle in USD. We can see that when we are trading 600 ringgit or lower, it's cheaper to settle in Malaysian ringgit. And from 700 ringgit all the way to 9,000 ringgit, it's cheaper to settle in USD. Then, if we are trading 10,000 ringgit or more, both methods will have the same amount of fees. As for the Hong Kong market, it's quite clear that settling in Malaysian ringgit is cheaper for lower amounts. And both will have the same fees when the trading amount is 20,500 ringgit or more. But how does this compare to other popular Malaysian brokerage like Interactive Brokers and the recently launched M+ Global? Check this out. For the Malaysian market, there's nothing to compare as Rakuten Trade is the only one offering this. For the US market, if you are trading less than 700 ringgit, Rakuten Trade is actually cheaper as they only charge a $1 minimum fee. But if you are trading anything more than that, IBKR would be cheaper. Same for the Hong Kong market. If you are trading a small amount, Rakuten Trade is cheaper, whereas IBKR would be cheaper for a larger amount. Next, let's talk about the currency conversion fees. Rakuten Trade doesn't charge any conversion fees. Instead, the fee is charged through their conversion spreads. So, what are the spreads like? At the time of testing, I found out that for the Malaysian ringgit to USD conversion, Rakuten Trade has a spread of 0.7%, whereas conversion to Hong Kong dollar, the spread is slightly higher at 1.2%. But how does this compare to IBKR? I found out that despite the higher spreads, both Rakuten Trade and IBKR had almost the same rates for USD conversion, whereas for Hong Kong dollars, IBKR has a much better rate. So does this mean that IBKR is better than Rakuten Trade when it comes to fees? Not necessarily so. In terms of pricing, yes, IBKR is cheaper for both trading fees and currency conversion rates. However, in terms of convenience and speed, Rakuten Trade would win. That's because for Rakuten Trade, the funding is almost immediate. So you can deposit money now and immediately use it to trade. But for IBKR, the funds would only arrive after a few hours. Also, IBKR doesn't support Malaysian ringgit. So if you are from Malaysia, you either have to use Wise or a Singapore bank to send money to IBKR, which may be a bit mafan for some people. Next, let's talk about the platform. Rakuten Trade is available on both the web and mobile. My first impression of the web is that it's extremely simple to understand and use. This is helpful, especially if you are a new investor. For example, it's easy to fund your account as they've integrated FPS, which lets you directly fund the account from the bank with just a few clicks. Buying and selling stocks is super straightforward too. And for those who worry about the constant currency conversion when they buy and sell, they can pre-convert the currency beforehand, then use the local currency to trade. There are additional features such as checking the top movers for the day, currency movements. There's even an interest rate chart from different countries, though I'm not sure how useful it will be. Rakuten Trade also has a stock screener tool, which may be useful if you want to search for stocks according to your criteria. There's a news and report section where you'll find research reports, motley fool articles, and so on. However, my only complaint is that I'm unable to filter the news based on stock or news that I'm interested in. So hopefully they will add in this feature in the future, yeah? The one feature that I like is the alerts feature, where I can set an alert to tell me when a stock reaches a certain price. For example, I can tell them to email me when Tesla reaches $50. Finally, there's a points reward system where you get to earn points when you trade, transfer shares in, refer friends, or participate in ad hoc campaigns. Each point is worth 1 cent, which you can then use to redeem rewards and offset trading fees. So that's the web portal. As for the mobile app, using it gives me a nostalgic feeling. It's as if I've traveled back to the good old days of iPhone 4. So kudos to Rakuten Trade for letting me relive my childhood memories. Anyway, the mobile UI is also pretty straightforward. There's the indices page, watch list page, stock page. Buying and selling is pretty easy too, so no complaints there. Next, let's talk about safety. Is Rakuten Trade safe to use? Later, the touchwood Jibabu collapse, then how? First, Rakuten Trade is licensed by Securities Commission Malaysia, which means they have to follow strict regulations and can't anyhow do funny things with our money. Second, the money and CDS stock is kept with Kenanga, the largest independent investment bank in Malaysia. So that means the chances of the company collapsing and losing all our money is pretty low. Meanwhile, our US stocks are kept with IBKR, which again is a very reputable broker, which means the chances of the company collapsing is pretty low too. In short, Rakuten Trade is quite safe to use lah. Moving on, let's talk about what I like and what I don't like about Rakuten Trade, starting with what I like. First, Rakuten Trade supports fractional shares for the US market, so you are able to buy with as little as 0.01 share. For example, if you are buying an Apple stock, you don't have to spend $190 to buy the entire share and proceed to eat air and drink rainwater for the rest of the month. Instead, you can just buy 0.01 share or as little as $1.92 to own a small part of an Apple stock. This makes it a lot more affordable. Currently, there's no fractional shares for the Malaysian market, but the good news is that the government is already planning to introduce fractional shares for Malaysian stocks, so you can look forward to seeing that soon. Second, if you are just trading a small amount of shares, Rakuten Trade is actually one of the cheapest brokers to use in Malaysia right now. And third, your idle Malaysian ringgit will earn an interest of 1.75% per annum. I know it ain't much, but money is still money, yeah. Fourth, as mentioned earlier, it's super easy to use the platform. Funding is fast and convenient, and you can easily buy a stock with just a few clicks. Now, let's talk about some of the things that I don't like. 1. While Rakuten Trade supports US and Hong Kong stocks, not every US and Hong Kong stocks and ETFs is available on Rakuten Trade. But in most cases, this is not an issue as most of your usual stocks will be available. For example, Apple, Google, Tesla, and even GameStop for those who like crazy meme stocks. Just saying they are available, not saying they are good buy. Second, for order types, Rakuten Trade only supports limit order, so there's no other order types such as market order, stop limit, and so on. But I will say that this is just a small issue, as those order types are mostly used by traders. Third, real-time data. In order to get real-time data for the US market, you have to subscribe to it. Luckily, as of right now, there's no fees for getting real-time data. However, for the Hong Kong market, after the first 3 months, there's a 10 ringgit subscription fee to get real-time data. Personally, I don't think this is a big issue, as you are able to easily get real-time data from other places, such as Google, Yahoo, and TradingView. Finally, let's talk about the sign-up gift. When you sign up using my link down below and activate your account, you will earn 1,000 points, which can be used to offset brokerage fees. Then, if you deposit 1,000 ringgit within 5 days upon account activation, you will earn another 150 points. And finally, if you add US and Hong Kong trading to your account, you will earn another 1,288 points. To do that, just click on the US Hong Kong flag on the bottom right to activate foreign trading services. These points can be used to offset brokerage fees or be converted to partners points. So if you were to do all this, you will earn a total of 2,438 Rakuten trade points or $24.38. So that's nice. Alright, here are my thoughts. Personally, I feel that Rakuten Trade is a very beginner-friendly platform that's easy to understand and use. Its low fees and fractional shares feature make it super accessible to new investors who may not have that much money to begin with. However, if you need more features such as options trading, CFDs, Forex, and so on, or if you are planning to trade a much bigger amount, you may want to look at other platforms, for example, interactive brokers. Anyway, that's all for this video. Hopefully, you find it useful. Like, share, and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.